She was gasping for breath, her body swinging from the old oak tree as cruel laughter echoed across the farm. They thought it was funny. They thought no one would come for her. But 47 seconds later, the low rumble of rotor blades cut through the silence, and the farm bullies froze as a medical helicopter descended right into their nightmare. They had no idea the man inside wasn't just any pilot. He was her husband, and his arrival would change everything. Maria grew up among fields of golden wheat and rows of corn that swayed with the wind. She was a farm girl in every sense of the word, sunburnt skin, calloused hands, and eyes that reflected both the struggles and the pride of rural life. But while her heart was strong, her world had never been easy. Since she was a child, she had been mocked for her clothes, for her boots with holes, and for the fact that her family barely scraped by. She married James, a man she met at the small-town clinic where she went for a minor injury. He wasn't just a doctor. He was also a trained helicopter medic. James was kind, steady, and saw in Maria what no one else bothered to see, a woman with more strength than she realized. Their love was fast, passionate, and rooted not in wealth but in shared dreams. Yet even after marrying James, the townspeople whispered. Mamie could not accept that a poor farm girl had found love with someone so respected. And the bullies, the ones who had tormented her since childhood, never let go of their cruelty. It was a late summer evening when things turned dark. Maria had gone out to feed the chickens when a group of young men, sons of wealthy landowners nearby, cornered her. They had been drinking, their laughter loud and merciless. Words flew first, insults about her patched dress, about how she didn't belong, about how she thought marrying James made her better than them. Maria tried to walk away, but they grabbed her arms, their cruelty escalating beyond words. They dragged her to the old oak tree near the edge of the field, its branches hanging low and strong. At first, she thought it was just another scare tactic, another attempt to make her feel small. But when they looped a rope over a branch, panic surged through her veins. She screamed, she kicked, but they were stronger, drunker, and blinded by their own twisted sense of power. Moments later, Maria felt the rope tighten around her neck. Her feet lifted off the ground, her chest burning as she tried to breathe. The world blurred. The bullies laughed, but then something unexpected happened. Far away, James had been flying his medical helicopter, finishing a mission to transport a patient to the regional hospital. He always took the route over the farmland when he came back, not just because it was faster, but because he liked knowing he was close to Maria. That evening, as the setting sun painted the horizon, his sharp eyes caught something that made his stomach drop. A figure swinging from the oak tree. His hands gripped the controls tighter, heart pounding so hard it felt like his chest would burst. He descended, the roar of the helicopter blades scattering the mocking voices into terrified silence. Maria's vision was fading, her body weak, but through the haze, she heard it. The familiar thunder of blades. James, somehow against all odds he was coming. Chapter 2. The bullies stumbled back as the helicopter landed in a rush of wind and dust. The noise was deafening, the air thick with tension. James leapt out before the blades had fully slowed, his boots hitting the dirt with urgency. His eyes locked on Maria, hanging limp, and his world narrowed to one thought: save her. With a surgeon's precision, he cut the rope and caught her before she hit the ground. Her skin was pale, her breath shallow, but she was alive. He pressed his ear to her chest, then began resuscitation, ignoring the stunned faces around him. Every second felt like eternity. Finally, with a choking gasp, Maria's lungs filled with air. Her eyes fluttered open, glassy but alive. The bullies, pale and trembling, tried to excuse themselves, muttering about it being a joke. But James stood, fury radiating from him. "You think this is a joke?" His voice was sharp, almost shaking. "You almost killed her." The townspeople had begun to gather, drawn by the helicopter's noise. They saw Maria, her neck bruised, her husband kneeling protectively beside her, and the cowards who had tried to take her life. Whispers spread, outrage burned, and for the first time, the bullies had no power. But James didn't waste energy on them. He lifted Maria gently and carried her into the helicopter. His voice softened, trembling with relief as he whispered to her, "You're safe. I've got you." As the helicopter lifted into the sky, Maria's hand weakly clutched his. Tears welled in her eyes, not just from pain, but from the realization of what love truly meant. In the darkest moment, she had been seconds away from death, but her husband, her protector, had descended like an angel from the sky. When she was strong enough to speak, She told James that she didn't want the bullies punished for revenge, but so no other girl would suffer like her. Her strength inspired the whole town, turning whispers of judgment into words of respect. The story of the farm girl who had been hung but survived because of love and courage spread far beyond their small town. Maria became a symbol, not of weakness or poverty, but of resilience, and James, every time he flew over that oak tree, felt a surge of gratitude, because 47 seconds had made the difference between losing her forever and saving her life. In the end, Maria stood taller than ever. She wasn't just a farm girl anymore. She was living proof that no rope, no cruelty, no laughter of bullies could break a spirit that was loved fiercely and fearlessly.